The importance of spirits. Look, it's written in the Old Testament as well as the New about spirits. And God is a spirit. And if we want to serve God, we have to serve him in spirit as well as in truth. But there was a man in Gadarenes who dwelt among the tombs. And what he did was he cut himself and was crying. So if we think about that, it's like he had depression, he had anger issues, and obviously rage. He broke chains. No one could contain him until Jesus came, right? And when Jesus came, it was as though, if we read the text, it's as though he wasn't even speaking to the man, but he was speaking to something that possessed the man. And we learn that it was spirits, and that there were so many that they just called themselves Legion. And there's many of us who have problems with anger, rage, depression. And you think that you can coax these feelings with medicine or medication, or maybe with drinking, drug abuse. But you have to learn that there may be a spirit that's accompanying your very actions. And unless you acknowledge that, you cannot be delivered from it. That's why it's so important for you to be going to the right church, for someone that can see these things before it becomes worse. There's people who are getting divorced because they don't understand why their spouse acts one way one day and then changes completely and acts oppositely the other day, right? There are some people who have to throw out their kids as an early age, or, give up their kids to adoption because they feel as though they can't handle them because of the rage in which they have dwelling in them, how they speak to them, or how they may be treating themselves, right? They could be hurting themselves. And so it could be overwhelming for a family. It could be overwhelming for a church. And it's definitely overwhelming for an individual. So hopefully you could tune into this message about spirits and the importance of spirits. My name is Pastor Sean Hackett, and this is Simple Bible Teaching. We take the Word of God and we break it down so you can apply it to your life so that it could benefit from it. With this word, we see that this man couldn't help himself. He needed someone that was in the light. He needed someone that's not lukewarm, not a lukewarm Christian, but someone that's hot for God. You see, in this word, the legion understood who Jesus was, right? And is. He is the Son of God. He is God. And that's why they worship him and had to humble themselves immediately, even at his presence. But that's not to say that it only happens with Jesus. It could also happen with you. You have to tap into the power that you have, especially women, men, children, and God. You need to tap into these spirits because we are, as a society, we're dancing around this underlying issue. And it's underlying because it's kind of covered up and everyone wants to label it as just an issue versus something that could be a serious problem. We go to work. We know how we should act in the workplace. We know how we should act at home. We know how we should act in the church or a public place. And all these rules are put on us, right? But there's still these spirits that could govern us, that could take us outside of those rules. So that's why it's so important for you to understand the difference, that you can have the upper hand. And if you can't do something yourself, that you can find someone who can help you.